Let's go here. There we go. All right. Good day, good day, good day, everybody. I think I'm gonna take this sweater off. Hang on. Because I know I'm gonna get hot. Let me get comfortable here. Right there, y'all. I am trying to get comfortable while I sew. Take off these hot clothes. I went out earlier, and so I had to bundle up because it was like 32 degrees. It's finally getting cool down here in this area, in these parts of town. So yeah. So y'all bear with me. I'll be right there. And to get comfortable, y'all. It's almost like when you, hey Mina. It's like, hey Divya. It's like when you come home from work and take your bra off. Just get comfortable. Okay. Whew. Now I feel better. I can do something. Y'all, silly. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hola. I just saw a video loosely of you, Mina, where you were moving in your studio. Looks like you might have been cutting something. Getting ready to cut out something. But y'all, I am here today because I just want to check in with y'all. Missed y'all last night. I did my midweek check-in. Nobody showed up. But I wanted to ask you if you tried to come in on Zoom last night, if you were having trouble, because somebody told me they tried to get in, but they were having trouble. So I don't know if somebody else, any of you, were having trouble as well. And if so, I'm so sorry. But I did do, so just FYI, and maybe I need to make a post that every Wednesday at 7:30. So we got 2 more weeks. We got next week and the following week. I'll do a midweek check-in just to see how you guys are doing. Oh, see, I couldn't see it. So that's what the other lady said. So I need to see if something's going on. Because somebody else said that they tried to get in but couldn't. The host, I didn't see it, y'all, so I'm sorry. I kept watching for it. And it never showed that I had anybody waiting in the waiting room. So I'm not sure what happened. I don't know. Well, I might need to test that. But yeah, I was like, well, nobody came in. I had one person show up, and I stayed there for probably till about 8 o'clock, a little bit after 8. And then I took off. Hey, Miss Avis, how art thou? I better not do no music because Facebook don't like music. All right, so listen, I'm getting ready to work on my fancy pants. All right, so I just want to come and hang out with you guys for a little bit. As you know, some of you may or may not know, but I was going to work on my tried and true pants because they're a one-piece pattern and I like them. Let's see if y'all can see more of what I'm doing here. You can't see it that way. Let me see how I can get y'all to see this better. Let me see if I prop my tripod up. If it will let you guys see me this way. Hey, anybody else sewing today? Divya, I saw those pants. Nice. Do you know how you think you'll be able to post them in the group? Oh yeah, that's better. In the photo album? Okay, that's better. All right. So, excuse me. What? Just start coughing. You know what? Let me put my laptop up because I might not be able to see you that far away. All right. So I'm gonna have to detour from my plans because one, I'm about two sizes bigger than this pattern, which is no problem. I can make the adjustment. But hang on, guys. Let me pull this up so I can see you all while that's waiting. You were able to post in a group for the hashtag. Okay. All right. So there is a photo album. If you're not able to, that's fine. Oh, you did tell me you tried to post it in the album. So tell me what happened. You told me you tried to post it, but you couldn't. I remember you telling me that. Sorry, that just came to me. I don't want to do it that way. All right, let's see here. Facebook. Go to feed. Go here. All right, let's see. Can I see you guys? Yeah, I can see you. All right. Okay, I can see your comments. I wasn't able to add. It wasn't an option. My friend was helping me with the instructions I wrote too. Okay. So when you go to the photo album, you don't see add photo or anything to it. It should have an ad, but I'm not sure what happened. So I'm sorry, y'all. Ooh. I know Gloria was able to post and Cindy, so I haven't seen anybody else post, so I can't speak to the rest of the folks. I'll try to get this up here so this doesn't fall. There we go. All right, so come on now. Need that. Okay. All right. Hey Nia, you are in the group. Hi. How are you? I was trying to. I have been up and down Broad Street, and you got to tell me where your shop is. I just want to come in and say, hey, come say hello to you. So message me, call me, or message me. I guess I could have just called you. I forget I have your phone number. I have to make sure that I logged it in my book though. I keep looking here, y'all. I'm sorry. So what I was going to originally do is this pattern right here, because it's easy. It's a one-piece pattern. You cut it twice. You cut two of them. Let me say it that way. Either way. And what it is that the sides are joined together, and the crotch seam is what you sew up. So there's no sides to this pattern. And this is the pattern. It is a butterick pattern that's available. This same pattern is now in a butterick pattern. And I don't know the butterick number, but Cree has it, and Kim Burton. She has it. So, but it's the same as that pattern, Palmer Pletsch. It's just a different brand or whatnot. And I love it because, and there's two options available. It is the wide leg option, which is what this is right here, and you can see the leg of it is so wide. And then it's the straight leg option. Now, my fabric is 60 inches wide because it's a knit. So I'm using the same fabric that I made the sweater from. And, you know, I told you I want to do the same so I can have like a loungewear set. So the problem is, this is good if I was just doing the 14. I guess I could still keep that width and change. Well, I can't even make the changes to the top up here because I need to add room to the pants. Now, it may be okay because it's knit. That might be fine. It might be okay if I leave it like this and keep the 14 because it is knit. Most knits have 0 seam allowance, but 2 sizes down, every size up is about 2 inches different. So that would be about 4 inches different for me if I kept it this way, right? So good morning, Wanda. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if either of you tried to jump into the live last night on Zoom and couldn't get in. If that is the case, already 2 people have reported that they couldn't get in. I need to report that. So let me know. I'm going to press this pattern piece out really quick, y'all. I should have did it before. And I need to grab my ironing board. I need a bigger space to iron with. Hang on, y'all. Hang on. Walking down my hallway. All right. Y'all remember me covering my iron board? It's the same cover as my chair. I keep it outside of the room because I don't really have enough, whole lot of space in here to keep this big board. I bring it in when I just absolutely have to have it. So, around this way. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So, y'all, to update you on the pattern cabinet, I did not get it. And I feel like it's something shady was going on. I did ask them if they would go down on the price. Because I told them, I said, well, I'm a part of a large store community. Several people have bought this cabinet from other Hobby Lobby stores. And so, all right, yeah. Okay, so I said other people have bought this cabinet at a cheaper price at your other Hobby Lobby stores. So they had to go through like 3 different people, right? Now, mind you, my thing is, well, let me finish the story. So they had to go through 3 different people higher up to find out if they could give me this cabinet at a cheaper price. Now, I walked in there this morning, first thing this morning when they opened up. Good morning, Tanya. And there was no sale sign on it, not sold out. When I asked the lady about it, she didn't say this table was sold. She said, I doubt that they will come down on the price, but you can go ask them. I think that's firm. I said, okay, fine. I'll go talk to somebody, talk to your manager. So I go talk to the manager. He didn't say the table was sold. He said, let me call somebody and find out and verify. I said, okay, fine. So he got off the phone. He said, well, that person's got to call their boss so they can verify. Okay, fine. I'll be walking around in the store. So this same little man that I've seen, a second man that I've seen walk around the store, I seen him come to the counter, to the cabinet, because I went back to that section. And I saw him come back to that area, walk over to the cabinet, and then he walked back up front. Next thing I know, I go back up front, and they see me. They come to me, and he said, ma'am, that cabinet's been sold. I said, well, when was it sold? I said, because I've been standing right here, and there's no sold sign on it. Well, he said, I don't know who or when, but it is. But we'll take your name and number just in case something comes up. I said, you know what? Don't even worry about it. I said, that's okay. I don't need it that bad, you know. And I feel like if it was sold, should have been a sold out table thing on it. And I asked the lady when I walked away, I said, I'm going up to the front to talk to your manager. Could you put a hold sign on it for me? She never did that. I don't think it was sold. I don't think it was sold at all. But I said, Lord, if it's for me, it's for me. But I don't like jankiness, right? I don't like jankiness at all. When I first went to the lady and asked her about it, instead of her listening to what I was asking her about, she immediately said, oh no, it's not on sale. I was like, ma'am, I said, I'm looking at your pattern. I'm looking at the cabinet right now, and it says for sale, cabinet only, $100. Oh, I thought you were talking about patterns. What patterns do you have for $100, ma'am? No. HL is about to be on my hit list like Janky Joe's was at one point. I'm trying to keep it good. Hey, Aisha. Hey, girl, hey. I'm trying to keep it good now. I can go from 0 to 30 in no time flat, but 0 to 60. 0 to 60 in no time flat. But I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to keep it straight. So I just said, you know what? Nah, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't want it. And you laughing, Tanya. Hey, Capricia. How art thou? Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't want it. So I was going to put it right here where this section is, right here, and I was going to move all of my patterns. All of these are patterns right here. And I don't know if you can see, those are patterns too. Well, that's some of them. The other ones are back over here in this other cabinet. That's right. Keep it cute and keep it cool, because I'm just like that. Yeah, Janky Joe. It was Janky Joe's. Yeah, they know. If you know, you know. Joanne. That was my name for Joanne, Janky Joe, because they were doing some of that janky stuff too. But it's all good. It wasn't for me. God said, don't put your money there. So I ain't put my money there. You ain't got to tell me twice. You ain't got to tell me twice at all. Y'all could have had this. I was willing to pay $100. I was like, because some people say get it fast. Some people say no, it's not good. I had mixed replies. So I said, well, let me just ask, right? But you ain't had to lie and say it was sold. If you didn't want to sell it, just say no, we can't sell it to you at that price. And I still was gonna keep it moving. You done made me wait all that long time. I be done built me a cabinet by I be done built the cabinet. Alright, y'all. So let me stop fussing. But no, I don't like janky stuff. Yeah, just be straight up and honest. I'm a straight up and honest person. I don't play no games with me. I believe I work hard for my money like anybody else do, and I need to put my money in the right ground. Don't play. Look, don't start now, won't be nothing. Pretty well, how are you? I'm good. My girls and I have had some time to do some sewing. Okay. A few pictures to post. For some reason, I want to get into bag making. You should. A lot of people are doing that right now. things have been busy with my kiddos homeschooling. Oh, girl, you got a lot on your hands. Hey, Ayana Boo, I didn't see you. To what I wouldn't do for a visit to Jenkins right now. I know, girl. Listen. We all been saying we miss Janky Joe's. Just a little jank won't, just a little jank won't hurt you. But see, we got used to them though. We knew how to handle them, right? We knew how to handle Janky Joe's. We knew the sales. We knew how to get through, you know. But this a, nah, nope, Look, Bible say when you was young, when you was a child, you thought like a child. Now that you've grown, you think that you think differently. So like now we know better, we do better. So now, it ain't none of that. We ain't playing these kind of games, right? Am I right about it? Hey, Miss Norma. I use large file cabinet for my pattern. She works hard for her money, so you better treat her right. That's right, Capricia. That's right. She worked hard for the money. We all do, right? But, you know, people just feel like they can just do anything. Now, y'all, I hope I'm wrong. I'm doing all this fussing, but I don't like that. I told her, you know, I started to give him my name. I said, you know what? Nah, it's okay. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You see my patterns in a nice look. They fine. They're going to be good. All right, so let me stop fussing. All right, so here we go. I was going to show you this, okay? Because that's a one-piece pattern. Let me do it this way. All right, so as I was mentioning to you earlier, this is the pattern that I want to use. Now, I'm leery because it's a size 14. These hips. Now, if I let the pattern companies have this way, I'll be cutting out a 22, which is much too big. It comes out big every time. Even when I make adjustments, sometimes it's like much too big. So I feel like with the knit, I ain't doing no 22. I don't even think I need to do an 18. But do I need to do a 14? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I can do a 14. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm going to take measurements before I do anything. But this one-piece pattern, which I like it, is quick, it's fast. You could do it work it on the serger. It don't really have a waistband. It has one dart which comes on the side, and I'll show you where that dart comes from. So it's just that one dart, and then you have the inseam and the inseam and the crotch to sew up. That's it. And you put a bias band on it, or you can do a facing. That's it. That's it. It's done just like that. And I think you can add a zipper to it, or in this case, so this one is a two-way stretch. The other one that I did calls for a zipper, but this one is for a two-way stretch. So let me pull this apart because I might be able to use this, but I'm going to show you how you can get this with any pants pattern that you have that's two pieces that's similar to it. And this particular pattern right here, this is the pattern that I'm working for if y'all just watching, if y'all just coming in. So it's McCall's 6571. Again, if you do a picture, if you Google search this picture, this photo of McCall's 6571, you'll probably come up with the butterick version of it, which is more current. This pattern, my son is 20, he'll be 27 soon. This pattern is probably about 22, probably about 22 years old. Anyway, Butterick has a larger, more current version. So I'm going to press these out real quick so you can see how to get this same look with this pattern. And it's not hard. When you see it, you'll be like, oh. And some of you probably already know how this works. I don't know if you're still on here, Aisha, but I'm excited about the Mamathon. Y'all joined another 5K challenge. So I'm looking I got to get myself fit again. Ooh, get back into the game. I got a virtual partner, but I need to, I'm thinking about getting a walking pad. We've been talking about it. She hadn't got hers yet, but I don't know. We'll see. And I'm thinking about canceling my gym membership because I don't even go. I had this gym membership and I don't think I went all year long. And I've been paying them, I don't pay them too much money to not use it. But I have most of all my equipment here. Only thing I don't have is like the treadmill, or I have an elliptical. But I don't use it. It's old. It still works though. But I just need to keep it moving, you know. So I'm looking forward to Aisha Mamathon, and I think it's coming up in March, if I'm not mistaken. But you can join now. All right, I'm almost finished steaming this out, so I can show you how this goes. And this one is a, oh wait, I cut a 14 on this one too. Looks like somebody used this pattern, or did I use it for somebody else? Well, either way, I'm still going to show you how it goes, alright? Alright, so this is the one-piece pattern right here. You hear? I'm excited to be dropping some videos to prepare. Okay, cool. Alright, Aisha, I know this is not sewing related, but because I'm talking about it, put your website up so they can see how, because I mean we all need to get fit, right, so we can get into these clothes, right? So make sure put your website up where they can find what I'm talking about. All right, so here is, this is the, make sure it's showing you right. This is the front piece. I'm gonna move your words out the way. No gym membership here either. All home workout, and the actual virtual race will be in May. But it's in May when it's warmer out and on our Mother's Day. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. All right. So I'm gonna be able to reach your comments from here. All right. So pull this down just a little bit. Move my light out the way. All right. So essentially what they did was just took the outer seams, the side seams, and put them together. They overlapped the seam allowance, the stitching line. Actually, overlap the stitching line. So I'm just going to overlap this line right here, just like this. All right, so I don't know if you can see. All right, you overlap it as far as you can get it to meet up on the sides. So you can kind of see right here. I'm gonna try to draw it out where you can see that it don't meet, and then I might have to pull my phone down so you can see it a little bit better. All right, so right here, all right, so right here is where it kind of stops meeting at. And you'll see how to get that dart. That dart's not going to go down this far, okay? So it's right there at this spot where the pattern doesn't meet up, okay, where it doesn't overlap. There's that little gap right there, and that's where you would actually put a dart in. But if you're using elastic, you don't even need to put a dart there. The elastic is going to take that space up, right? So can you see what I did right there? So right there, I lined up everything along the seam allowance. And then right here, like I say, your dart doesn't have to come down that far. On this particular one, for whatever reason, the dart is a little bit open. And it may be a little bit more open because you want this to stay, you want the grain lines to stay parallel. So if you do it that way, then yes, the darts are going to be a little bit more open. Now this one, this dart comes to about right here. Comes about right here. I got mine probably about 3 inches below where this pattern, the original pattern that I'm working on, is. But you can see how you can get that same look, create yourself a one piece pattern just by buttoning up the side seams, eliminating the side seams altogether, and then either add an elastic, or if you're going to do a dart, if you're using a woven, you can create a dart here on the side, right? And then what you can still make your adjustments to your crotch area, you know, wherever you need the normal adjustments that you would need to do, you can still make those adjustments. Like me, I have to make, let me pull this out a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see. Hey, Lady Nick, Happy New Year. You said you don't think I learned or remember how I became interested in sewing. All right, so here, let me make sure I didn't miss any comments. Did anybody say anything before Lady Nick? I can't see it. I see your hello, 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 and I might have missed somebody. If I missed you, then just repost it. But I'll let you know, Caprice, if you're still on here. Hold on, hold that thought. All right, so if you're one like me, I have to make full butt adjustments, and so this is the back piece right here. So I usually have to, I still need to scoot up, turn this out a little bit. Okay, you see me okay? Okay. All right, so I'm one, I generally have to scoop out my butt because I got a butt back there. Like I got a little badunk. Some ways, if you look sideways, it might look flat, but then it's big back there. Yeah, it is. But anyway, so I usually have to make adjustments. My crotch length is 19 now, it seems. So I have to make sure that I have room back there for my seat, for my badunkadunk to have room to sit in. So that means this stops at, from edge to edge, this stops at about 15.5 inches, right? So that's about 3.5 inches short of what I need. So I usually have to make my adjustments in 2 different places. I usually have to slash this and slide it up, and then I have to bring out the side. I have to add to the inseam in the back, and also I have to make 3 adjustments. I have to slash and slide, bring that up a little bit, add maybe about 1 inch, 1.5 inches there, no more than 2 inches. Then I have to scoop it out, which means I have to redraw this back seam line, and I have to bring it down. Now, if you have a full butt and your butt sticks out, you got badunkadonk, then you usually have a J shape. This should look like a J shape. And if you think about it, it makes sense because your J, the J has more of a scoop. It has more room. So think about this. This is your sit down room right here, right? So if you think about this, if you ever had pants that you had on, they were cutting you in the crotch, like you getting a camel toe and all that, that means that this curve right here is too high up. It's too slanted. But if you have a dunkadunk, then you need a J shape because you need more room right there in the sit down area, in the crotch area, so you won't be getting no camel toe, right? And then your pants, because this area is scooped out, when you get ready to sit down, and once you make this adjustments here, the rise right here, and lifted that up, when you sit down, your butt won't be pulling on this fabric right here, causing gaping or butt crack, right? I'm just saying, that's what happens. So I have to make those adjustments because that's what happened for me. Like, I have to keep pulling my pants up so, you know, my pants not pulled down, my butt's pulling my pants down on a lot of ready-made stuff. Now, one of the ways that you can kind of eliminate that, help eliminate that on ready to wear clothes, is by adding a dart in the back of your pants that will help secure the waist so it won't slide down. Now, when you do that, though, what's going to happen is you're going to get a wedgie and you're going to get camel toe. And it ain't going to feel right. So, yeah. So that's why you have the ability to make those adjustments when you're making your pants. But you can still do this, even when you have a one-piece pattern like this, you can still do this by moving up to the line, slashing it before you add this pattern onto, before you join these together. Go ahead and make your adjustments on your back pattern piece, and then add them together so you can have a one-piece pattern. All right. So I think I'm going to try to go for the one that's already done. I'm going to see how the 14, what the measurements look like on the 14. And I may only need to make subtle adjustments. All right, I only may need to just scoop it out. So if it works, then I'll be good. All right. Did that make any sense to y'all? Inty. Oh, so Capricia, going back to you. Are you still there? Hang on one second. Give me just a second. Okay. All right, you still there? Okay, good. All right, so I got started. My mother, it's a family bent, okay? My mother sewed, my great-grandfather sewed, my grandmother sewed, well, my great-grandmother. Everybody in my family sewed. I'm going to see if I can show you this picture here. Turn this around. That man right there is my great-grandfather, Andrew Cornelius Martin. I did a kind of an expose, I guess, on it a couple of years ago during Black History Month. And he was a tailor in my area in Augusta, Georgia. He did the same thing that I did. Well, he didn't do women's clothing stuff, but he was a tailor, had his own business, like 1917. And he's the only one in my family that's done it. But that's why I say it's a family bent. But I learned from my mom. My mom was she was a registered nurse, but she knew how to make all her clothes. And back then, learning how to sew, learning how to cook, and stuff was a staple, right? And so, and I'm pretty sure, and those of you that are from the islands, you know what I'm talking about. You had to learn how to sew. That was just part of the culture, right? But I would watch my mom sew, and she would come home from her job. She would work what they call the graveyard shift. She would work midnights, but she would come home. She would maybe rest a little bit or get up, and then she would, or she worked the evening shift. She would come home and she would make clothes that we needed for choir, for church, or she needed uniforms, or we for Easter, or special occasions. She would make our clothes for us. But round about 8, I started playing around with her scraps of fabric, and so she saw that I was really interested in sewing, and because I was making clothes for my wasn't a Barbie doll, it was a black doll named Tiffany. I don't know if anybody remember that doll, but it was, you can look it up. Tiffany. She had long, pretty gold hair on one side and black hair on the other side. You could twist her head around to get whatever color you wanted. But kind of remind me of Naomi Campbell. But anyway, um, she saw that I was interested, so she signed me up for a 2-week sewing class, and I had to been maybe 9, 10. I probably was 10 years old, but I was supposed to be, I think, like 12. And she lied, fudged on my age because I was tall for my age, and she sent me to this class for 2 weeks. But by this time, because I had been watching her, I knew a lot of the techniques and stuff like that. I probably know like technical skills, but I knew how to sew. I knew how to do a straight stitch. I knew how to put a little something together. And so that's where I came out and made. Y'all see me share this picture, I don't know how many times, but I'm gonna forever keep this picture because it was the first actual garment that I made for myself, and I made it during this class. It was this picture. That was that picture right there. It was and a few years back, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, this was that little outfit circled back around, and it was popular. The little romper and then the pants. I think Mimi G made it, and everybody went wild over that. But that was an old pattern. And so from there, I was sewing my own stuff. I made my high school. I made clothes in high school. Um, my senior year, I made my own prom gown. Prior to that, my mom made my gown. And but after that, I actually started my business right after high school, like in my junior year, because kids found out in the neighborhood that I could sew. So back then, straight leg pants was the thing. Everybody had the bell bottom legs or the wide leg pants. So everybody's bringing their jeans and stuff for me to straight leg them. And then in my junior year is when I made my first wedding gown. My cousin was getting married, and she wanted me to make her gown. And when I say I learned business experience, and no, I didn't learn it all then, but I got a hint of what not to do in business, right? What to do and what not to do. But it just snowballed from there, and I would learn how to build on my techniques by. At that time, they had PBS. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have Sword Academy and all those things. We had PBS and Nancy Zeman. And so they had this program Nancy Zeman did where you can order videos, rent videos, and rent them for like 2 weeks and then ship them back. They gave you the shipping boxes and everything to ship them back. So that's what I did. I would rent these videos and I would study them. And I would rent books from the library and study them, learn how to do different techniques and stuff like that. So that's how I got through. And even before high school, I took up home economics, which we don't have anymore. But I took up home economics doing sewing and woodworking and cooking. And yeah, so that's how we had to do it then. You love Nancy Zima? Yeah. And she's still, her programs are still running now. Like, they might not be running on PBS, but you can find them on YouTube and you can find them on, I think she has a page, a Facebook presence. Now, she's no longer with us. She's deceased, but her programs, I think, are still airing, right? So I want to take my measurements while I'm talking. But yeah, that's basically how I got started. And then y'all always hear me tell the story. I never liked alterations. I hated alterations, y'all, and that's my business right now. So I hated it, but it was the thing that taught me. It was an extra. It was another teacher, if you will. Like, I had to pull stuff apart just so I can see how it's put together, and I was able to learn about interfacing, learn different techniques for jackets like sleeve caps and uh, padding, pad stitching, and all that stuff. Just because I had to put it back, so I had to learn how to do it. So, I mean, you can teach yourself. A lot of people do. I don't discourage people from going to like fashion school or college, but nowadays in design school, they don't teach you how to sew. They teach you the techniques of fashion design. They teach you how to put a collection together. They teach you all the theories and stuff, but they don't teach you how to sew. Ooh, y'all, I think I lost an inch in my hips. Let me make sure. Let me stand upright. Now I'm about to get happy. Come on. I done lost an inch in my hips. All right, let me see about my waist. Oh yeah, that waist yet holding on. How is that I can lose an inch of my hips, but not my waist? Oh, wait a minute. Am I squeezing my butt? Make sure I ain't squeezing my butt. Okay. Yep. Waist about right. The same. Oh, thank you, Capricia. All right, so, let me write this down somewhere. All right, so my hip is 30. What that's my hip was 47. My waist 38. That's way too much. And my bust is 41. Man, I've got large and in charge. uh, I grew up taking things apart and putting them back together as well, not even clothes only. Right. The Art Institute was a joke. I agree with you, friend. I learned how to sew on my own, not from that institution. I learned more in high school than I did there. Right, exactly. I learned more in middle school than I did anywhere, outside of, um, you know, like my teacher, and it helps it's very important to have a great teacher, right? Because you have people that are just there and they're just gonna, you just read it and you do it, and I'm here to check it, that type of situation. But then you have teachers who are there hands on to, if you don't do it right, no, that ain't the right way. Some people just let you do stuff just so you can pass through, and much like they do in regular school. But when you have a teacher who's hands on, as a matter of fact, speaking of teacher, I had a student at one, had to make sure where I'm at. But when you have a teacher that's hands on, they take you step by step. They don't do it for you, but they make sure that they're overseeing you and doing it right. And that's when you really learn. But if you got somebody that just lets you, okay, you just go for it, you just make what you're gonna make, and you're gonna be good, that don't work. That's not gonna work like that. Okay, so yo, I think I'm gonna be good because this is the crotch line like this. The only thing I'm gonna need to do is just scoop this down a little bit more. I need to scoop this down a little bit more. And then this is about 18 right here. So I probably, if I don't even have room to bring this out any. So what I need to do is slash and slide here a little bit. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm bring this around. You can see that. All right. So this has a long crotch length. This is a fold line. So this pretty much is the waist right here, right? Well, actually, this is the waist and this is the fold line. But if I just keep this here, make this my waistline here, which is about 5/8 of an inch. If I start my waist point right here and bring this on down, just scoop this out a little bit and bring this out. I need to add about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch from there, all right? But it's knit. So I only need to add maybe about 1.5 inches to this. So really I can just cut this here and add bring this up 1.5 inches, and that'll give me what I need. All right. My teachers were hands-on and they didn't play, and she would check everything right. Make my own prom dress. I appreciate them so much. Teachers aren't the same anymore, but these kids ain't either. That's true. You're right about that, Aisha. They are not the same. All right. So what I'm going to do here is where that dart is, there's a dart right there. I'm not going to use that dart, but that is my side seam right here. That's the center mark of the side. So what I'm going to do is draw a line from here, from that center mark. And y'all, I'm being careful because I got my fabric underneath. Make sure this don't go through. So I'm going to draw a light line down the center, all the way down to the crotch line right here. All right. Well, actually, I didn't need to do it all the way down there, but just to that cut, length, and shorten line, there's a length and shorten line here. So I'm just going to make sure I'm balancing that out right. Make sure it's not going through. Okay. So what I'm going to do is cut an L shape here and swing that out about 1.5 inches, and then I'm going to add some fabric in there to make that work. I mean, add some paper in there to make it work. And I just happen to have some extra tissue paper from a pattern that I just cut. So I'll get my paper scissors. If y'all were watching last night, Carol was up last night, and she was up late. And she was working on some pants and showing you the adjustments that she was making on her pants. Hang on, y'all. Yep. She was showing the adjustments that she was making on her pants, and she had some good information. I don't know if she parts her videos on YouTube or not. But Carol is another, Carol Crocker Ware. Y'all, most of y'all know Carol. Y'all call her Auntie Clapper, Auntie Carol, Fabric Whisperer is what I call her. But she's worth listening to. All right, so I'm going to cut right here at this lengthen and shorten line. I'm going to add 1.5 inches, and I'm going to cut here. Because remember, this is a conjoined pattern, so I can't cut it straight across like you would normally do. So I'm just cutting to where that dart is, and I'm going to cut up and not all the way through, but just enough to swing it. All right, like that. All right. I'm wondering if I should. Yeah, no, this is going to be good. I'm going to tell you why this is going to be good, because, and I don't know if you can see this already, but generally I have a problem with, remember I told you if you don't have enough fabric in the seat, it's going to pull down at the waist, and so it usually leaves you exposed. So generally, if I don't make that adjustment, then my pants will be hanging down here somewhere and not at my waist, because my butt is pulling the fabric down so it can have room to sit, because your lady parts be saying, no. So your fabric, your butt be trying to help your lady parts out so it can be comfortable, so it'll be grabbing the fabric so it can have room and don't be scrunching in the wrong places. But by lifting this up, by raising that up, you can see this is the back seam. This is right at the back of your middle back. So by lifting this up, I'm giving more room right here. I'm bringing that waistline up, and I'm giving myself room right here in the crotch area. Okay. All right. So I need 1.5 inches here. I'm gonna slide this up under here. And I'm gonna take some of this and I'm gonna put up under here. Put that up under there. Try not to move my pattern too much. Put that up under there. All right. So now I just need 1.5 inches from this line here, which is pretty much where this line is. That I couldn't have put that pattern there no better than that. All right, so that's what 1.5 inches is. All right, so I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to tape that. Now, by me moving this up here, that gave me a little space right here. So space that I don't really need, but I am going to measure the waist, because I might be able to bring this over a little bit. So let me measure this waist out. Now remember, I have to multiply whatever I'm adding by 2, because I need to cut 2 pieces of this. Okay, so before I do that, let me measure the waist and see what it's going to give me. Now I'm going to be doing elastic. Okay, so that comes out to be about 34 inches. I said my waist was 38. So I need 4 more inches. So I need about 1 inch. Actually, I probably don't need that much, because it can be 0. So what I'm actually going to do is bring this over 1 inch. Bring this over 1 inch. I kept it at this line. Okay. And I'm going to bring this back over. Don't worry about that part of it. Now, of course, you can eliminate all this by getting the right pattern, getting the right size and everything. But because this is the pattern that I have on hand, I got to make the necessary adjustments. Now, the best thing to do is to do a mock-up, but I'm not doing that because this fabric, it ain't that serious, right? Hey, Felicia. I am working with my tried and true, so I'm retrying it and truing it up because I done grew since then, about 2 sizes up. So this is McCall 6571. I don't know if you were on the other night, and I don't know if you were able to see where Cree and Kim showed their butterick version of this. They have a buttered version. I need to find that and write the number on the back of it so when I'm talking about it, you'll be able to see it. Alright, so now it's gonna look funny. It's your patterns, if you do this right and your body, you know your body is different, like you're not the same in all the parts. Like most people can't cut a pattern straight out from the envelope and it fits right. If you do, that's a beautiful thing, but most people can't. But just because our busts are not the same, our hips, you know, we're not the same all over, that fits right into a pattern category. So, but if you do your adjustments right, your pattern probably is going to look funny, it's going to look weird, it's going to look like you did something wrong, but when you put it on your body, it's going to all fit and flow just like it's supposed to. So don't look at that, but always I would recommend making a muslin just so you can check, fit, and verify, make sure it is fitting right. So here, I gotta true it up here and make the adjustments here because now I gotta make all this work, right? I gotta make all of that look good. Because I still need this part here, but I also need to fix this here. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. Exactly, right? These patterns really were created for they created for mannequins and models. You know what I'm saying? They created for mannequins mostly. Like you see me when I'm drafting a pattern or something, I draft it on the mannequin first. And so most of these bodies that they use to meet that as a muse, they got mannequin bodies. You know, they're more on the mannequin style, and it's easy that way. It's easy for them to create a generic pattern. You gonna buy it. You just have to be the one to make the adjustments. But a lot of times they're not gonna tell you to make the adjustments. They're just gonna take generic measurements for generic sizes, and then you just fit in there. It's just like work for retail. They can't possibly create clothes and sell in retail for every body type. They just can't. So they have to do the average. They have to do they have to go the middle ground, I guess, for each size, if you want to say it that way. So you have to figure out the rest. That's why they have alteration specialists. And, you know, people like me, you're going to always have a job in alterations because people going to always need it. People will always need adjustments. Or as my bride, when my bride came in, she came in for me to make adjustments to her veil, but she said, well, I bought my dress, it was a little bit too big, but I don't want to pay the money for alterations. I know it's big, so I'm just going to make it work. Well, it wasn't going to look right just to make it work, so then of course she ended up having to pay me to alter it, and it's going to look nice. But you can't, especially with something like your wedding gown, you can't just make it work. You got to make it, this your big day. It's got to look good. Yeah, I'm trying to get my curve ruler. Let me see if this one is going to work like that. Yeah, I can make it work with this one. Alright, so, but yeah. I always say, you're going to always have babies being born. You're going to always have weddings and funerals. You get into any of those, you're going to always have a job. People going to always want their nails done, their hair did. So you can always have a job. Hey Jana, I'm on this end, girl. No TikTok. Well, not right now. I want to hang out with my family. It's been a while. All right. So I'm using my S curve ruler. I know I keep looking at because I'm reading comments, but I'm looking for my S curve ruler so I can blend and true this up, right? So I need to. Let's see how I'm gonna do that. I need to go from here. I might not be able to do it with that. I need to go from here to here. So I'm just going to use my regular tape measure so I can curve it like I need to because I don't want to lose a whole lot in between. So I'm going to use my tape measure to kind of help me blend the lines, connect the dots. Now again, I'm not going to use that dart there because I'm going to use elastic. And I don't like a whole lot of elastic on me. Like I don't like gathers, a whole lot of gathers. So I didn't add a whole lot to make it gather. So what I did was when I put elastic in there, it's just going to fit smooth just like this. Just like my pants here. It's going to fit smooth just like that. Because I don't like a whole lot of bunching around my waist. I don't like a whole lot of pleats around my waist. Um, every now and then I might do something with pleats, but for the most part, I don't. All right, so I got this adjusted here. All right, and being careful because I'm on top of my fabric. All right, so now that line goes all the way up. This will be your middle section. So I gotta raise this up now. The front part is fine. And let me redo that because my crotch length in the front is usually 11, 11 and a half, and my back my back crotch usually runs between maybe 18, 19, 19 and a half, somewhere along in there, depending on my weight and how I fluctuate. So I'm going to measure from my waist. Well, I'm going to use this as my waistline here. But, and I'm going to use this as my pattern. All right, so this is a little bit longer, but that's my waist right there. Okay, so that's a little bit longer. So I might can take a little bit of that out because if I don't, then it's going to hang right here in the middle part, right? So I could probably bring this down a little bit, especially if I'm talking about keeping this part right here. Let's see if I change if I do that's 12, that's 14. Yeah, that's a lot of crotch right there. So I'm probably gonna end up cutting that back some, or cutting this down. Let's see. Let me measure from this side here. I'm just gonna give myself 11 and a half. I'll even go 12. then another half. That's almost taking this down to a 10. So I'm going to go ahead and sew it the way it is. And then I can always go back in and open it up and cut down the front crotch if I need to make it work. All right. Need too much bunching from the elastic, especially since I have improved with the fly and with the. Oh, you improved on that fly? Good for you. All right. So now I still have this part to let's see if I can. I'm gonna bring you guys down this way because y'all seen the most of it. Hang on. Y'all still see? Where's my box at? Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna put y'all up here. A little bit better. Okay, that should be a little bit better, right? All right, so you can see right here where it doesn't mesh up right here, but I still need this part. Let me go ahead and cut this off right here. I haven't made these adjustments to these pants in a while because I haven't made these, but I did copy a pair that I have made years ago. I did that earlier last year, but I still, even though I tried to make the adjustments here, it still wasn't falling right. All right, so I need to still add probably, no, I don't need to add anything now because I made the adjustment. So I need to create that J shape I was telling you about. I'll bring this down to here. Still showing. All right, so you know what? I'm going to leave it there at the 18 and a half. I'm going to make this adjustment here. Here. All right. So I don't know if you could see that, but I'm going to move that from here. And I'm going to move that out to here. Let me go ahead and make that line. I'm making this from the cut line. I'm trying to be careful with the pin because I'm on my fabric. So right here, I'm going to get around the curve. Okay. All right, hopefully that's going to come out the way I want it to, because I need another pin. Hang on. Where's my board at? I just had. There we go. was looking for that earlier. Alright, I'm going to put this up under here so I can see what I'm doing. And this is what I need right here. Actually need that curve like right there. I need that curve right there. Alright, so we're about to see how this is going to come out. Actually, this is supposed to come out. I don't want to. Let me get another marker because y'all might not be able to see that. No, what I did was I cut out that curve. So it seemed like it's lengthening, but it's not. I'm actually cutting that curve out. So I'm taking that part out because the more you scoop it out, the more room you have. Does that make sense? Let me see if I can get this green. What's that extra fabric on it? Pattern underneath. All right, so I'm going from the top line all the way down. And I need to scoop this out here. Okay, so you can see now it's a J shape. So the more you have here, the slighter the curve, like the as it's just kind of narrow and more narrow curve will be too close to your center parts. If that makes sense. But the more you scoop it out, the further away it is from your center parts, the more you have room to sit in. So I think it's still going to be a little shy of what I need, but once let's see. Yeah, no, once it's done, it's going to be about 18. It's going to be about right. And then the front part is going to have still some seam allowance in there, so we'll see how it works. Sometimes if you have too much in the front, not enough in the back, it starts pulling from front to back or back to front, if that makes sense. But with me having more here, it might make the adjustment for just that little bit extra that I need here without me having to add, because I don't have any more fabric to add into the seam allowance, into the crotch. So I got to make it work. All right. Now, the other thing I need to be concerned about is the length of it. All right, so I'll put y'all back this way. So I'm going to measure out my length to see what it is. I kind of like my lounging pants to be loose, long. I like them to kind of drag a little bit. So my leg length is usually about 45 inches from the waist. This is 46 inches. And I went to the edge of the pattern. Let me pull this up a little bit. All right. See, there's a little bit left over. I didn't cut that off. This is actually the hem, and it requires about a 2-inch hem. I don't really need a 2-inch hem on this pants right here. As a matter of fact, I may just actually serge it like I did the top, the sweater. I did a dark blue serging around the neck edge and the arm edge. So I may do that with the hem, and so that's still going to give me an inch, because I like my pants to be a little bit long when I'm lounging around. So there's no adjustment in the front to prevent bunching for your measurement, right? Actually, I need to take away from the front. I can cut, that's why I say I'm going to go ahead and make them up the way it is. But right here in the front, mine is 11 inches. I can actually bring this down a little bit like this, just cut, like I made the adjustment to raise it up here, but I can actually make the adjustment to shorten it here. So I can go the opposite direction and bring it down a little bit. So I can show you what that looks like. And go the opposite direction. Let's just go ahead and do that. So it'll be closer to where I need. Let me press this tissue paper out here a little bit. So the more you do it, you can tweak it if you need to, but if you know you already need to make adjustments, go ahead. Don't do like I was getting ready to do and just fudge it, try to make it work, because you might not go back to it and readjust. So it's better to just go ahead and do it, and you can always tweak your pattern. That's why it's good to make muslin, so you can tweak what you need. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go the opposite here, and what I do with my pen. So the green pen here, I'm going to use a red pen. All right, so I'm going to go down this line here. And I'm just trying to be as straight as I can, and then go to the cut line here. All right, so I measured, because I'm keeping this line here, and I'm just going to probably turn the elastic under 1 inch. The waist is actually here, but when you put the elastic on, it's going to stop at your waist, right? So I'm going to measure from my waist with the 14, and it's best to do it, you measure it against the actual seam that you're going to be running. Let's get my loop here. Okay, so this ruler, this tape measure is 5/8 seam allowance. So I'm going to use that to measure out my seam. And when it comes to this knit and loungewear, you don't want it too close up to your crotch anyway, right? Not fitting like pants. You want it to be kind of loose, but you don't want it to be too baggy. All right. Oops. All right. So that's my actual seam allowance right there. Take that back up. All right, so I'm going to walk my tape measure around from the waist down to the crotch, because that's going to be my stitching line. So when it's finished, it needs to be 11 or a little bit better. Okay, so I forgot to do my line here, because you got to stop right there at the cross. Sorry about that. At the crossroads. All right, so that's where I'm going to stop right there. So I'm going to go from my waist, which is right there, walk this on down. Might not need to make any adjustments because it looks like it's going to be fine. Alright, so it's actually right at about 13. So it might not be bad because that'll help make the adjustments to the back. Give a little bit of room for that. It's not so close up on my crotch, you know, because I'm lounging, right? So I'm going to leave that just like it is. That's not so bad. It's about 2 inches. Again, like I say, if it ends up being a little bit too much, then I can go back in and just shave a little bit off right here in just the front, just this side. I don't have to cut the back off, but just this front side right here. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go over that in green so you can see that crotch line. That's my, actually where I cut this green, that's my crotch line, but where I cut that green off, that was my, let me go back. All right, so I can't make it blue no more, but anyway, that's the actual stitching line. This is the cut line, so I'm going to leave that. This right here, this green is the cut line. Was that the stitching line? Yeah, that's the cut, that's the new cut line. So my seam allowance is going to be, this is going to be my seam allowance. All right, you can't see it that well because all right, that's going to be my new seam allowance. So this is what it's going to end up being. All right, so about 18 and a half. All right, well actually about 18 still. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make that adjustment. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. Or should I cut it off? I ain't going to cut it off. I'm going to tell you why. Because I can use this pattern if I lose weight. Use the weight again. What I should do is just go ahead and make a pattern from it. I'm just going to leave it for now. And I'll make a pattern from it. So I have it that way. If I need to go back to this pattern, I'll have it and I can make adjustments. So that's what I should have did from the beginning. All right, so now that I have this, I can go ahead and cut it out. The length is where I want it to be. All right, I'm gonna put y'all right here. Make sure y'all fall off of this. And let's see what time is it. Oh, 12:35. Okay, give me enough to cut it out and I get my room straight again for my student. Do y'all keep your tissue paper so you can cut? So you can make adjustments to your pattern? Now this is my labels. I pre-printed my name for my labels. I don't know if y'all saw my latest video where I made the little car print dress or the actual print dress. And I made my labels for it. Printed them on some grosgrain ribbon and just stitched it in like a regular label. So I don't know that they're actually doing labels anymore. They might be. Alright. Bring this up a little bit. Just remember 0 waste fabric, and I might just be able to Make sure I'm cutting off the edge. I might just be able to do another infinity scarf, a little one. And the rest of it, you know, it's going to be for the scrap heap, to add to my scrap basket. Yeah, I'm excited. It's about to come along. I'm anxious to see how they're going to sew up. So this is a size 14, but because it's stretched, I believe it's going to work with those adjustments that I just made. But if not, guess what? It's going to be one of those muslin, wearable muslin that I got to make adjustments from. Alright, so I still got that much left of this fabric. So I think I am going to make a finished scarf. I already have the hat, so I don't need to do the hat. Right there where the tables meet, the little cracks in the table meet, I always have a hard time getting it to cut clean over. And sometimes knit, I don't know if anybody else has this issue, but my knits can be a brand new blade, but the knits don't want to cut perfect. Right, so I'm not going to, oh, I need to cut that off and keep that just the way it is. See what I mean? Like the knits want to keep an edge. Alright, so I'm just going to have to make this. I'm going to use my scissors. I'm going to go ahead and cut this top part off. I'm going to use probably a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch elastic on this waist. I don't want a big elastic. Probably 3/4 inch. If I have an inch, I can do an inch too. But the inch is going to take up more space. So we'll see. But let's see, what did I do with my scissors? Okay, that it's on the other side. Let me slide this just a little bit so I can get to this side. Have to do this. Now remember, it's going to look strange, but it's going to come out right. I'm gonna mark my back and I'm gonna mark my back. I'm just gonna put a piece of tape on here. I had some circle dots. I don't know what I did with them. They're here somewhere. I'm just gonna use this tape to mark the back side, the wrong side, and the back. Which side is the back? I think I got a little bit of time. Just I think she's coming at 1:30 instead of 1. I think we changed the time. All right, so I'm gonna change y'all around here a little bit. All right. Move this tape over here. All right. Hey, howdy. I'm gonna move y'all over here to my sewing machine so we get this moving, and I'm going to change my thread because I have the thread from the dress that I was making. All right, there we go. Got everything hooked up here. Go grab this. Then I gotta find my thread. Make sure I have my thread. I'm gonna do a 4-thread lock. 4 thread, so I'm gonna have to change. And if I have my 1/2 inch. Let's see, what did I just buy? I bought some thread at elastic at Hobby Lobby. That's an inch and 5/8. That's gonna be too big. I don't want to go that big. I got some right here. Yep. All right. Y'all still with me? Y'all still hanging in there? Let me know if y'all still hanging in there with me. I've been using my tray to catch the extra little fabrics so that I could keep them in my little scrap bag, my stuffing bag. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put right sides together. And I get ready to sew. What's my clips? Y'all still hanging in there? Did everybody go? Everybody's gone? I'll keep going till I finish it, because it won't take long now. Going to put a little clip in here so I can keep them together. And we're going to see how this come out. Y'all fingers crossed. Alright. I already have a couple of blue threads up already. and get this changed out. Found my little snips. You making these lounging pants too? Good. Yeah, I love a good pair of lounging pants, especially with those slouchy sweater and some fuzzy socks. You can't tell me nothing. So yeah, I'm using 4 threads. I gotta get my spool of threads back up on the wall. This is the part I don't like having to do this. It'd be nice to have a serger that had all threads. I mean, that you had certain colors constantly on the machine. That would require a lot of sergers, wouldn't it? Probably the best practice is to, if you know what you're going to be working on the next day, go ahead and set your serger up the day before, the night before, so all of this will be ready to go. That would be the ideal thing. Alright, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to change my tension dials so that I can pull this thread through easy. Sometimes I get the thread to pull right through, then the other time, like I can't. Okay. And then sometimes, this machine is not like my Juki. Like, you can pull the threads and they'll go right through. But then you have some threads that gets caught up in the channel somewhere, and it won't let you be great. Alright, so I'm going to have to do this anyway. Then you have to be careful because thread gets caught back up in the chamber. I don't know how thread gets caught up underneath. Oh my goodness, I even have to start from scratch. That one had to come out. That's bad, especially when you're trying to hurry and finish something. That's when it looks like most stuff happens. Like, can I just get it finished? Especially when you're excited. You know, you can't wait to see a project, can't wait to see the outcome, and then here come a hiccup. Like, man, You took me to your travel. You just finished with urgent care, then soup at Golden Crust, now farm. Well, I hope I was good travel company. I hope I was good travel companion. Let me get it on that move. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I watched. It made me think of what's the movie I just watched? Castaway with Tom Hanks. In the beginning of the movie, he went on a business trip somewhere, but he's trying to make a point to his staff that time is of the essence, and he was trying to time how long it took a package to get back to him, to get from one place to the next. And so he literally mailed a clock, a watch, stopwatch, or clock to himself, so he can time progress. And I'm like, oh my goodness, let me get this over here. Is this gonna work like I'm thinking? All right. It worked. It worked. Now I gotta remember to put my tension settings back. All right. Put that to the side. Okay, now I can get going. Great. Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad I could be of service. Glad I could be a good travel partner. All right, so now let's see what this gonna do. Let's see if we made it do what it do. Okay, look, I had to go back and make sure that most of the stretch was around the hips. All right, so I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna do a quarter of an inch, not a quarter of an inch. I'm gonna do edge stitching. Reason being, I don't want it to be jammed up. I'm gonna see how it fits. I can always go back and take up more seam allowance, right? But I can't take it out. I want to see how loose it's gonna be. Since it is a 14, I want to see how loose it's going to be if I do the edge stitch. I know I did the measurement for 5/8, but I want to see. Because I like it a little baggy, not like swallowing me back, if that makes sense. Like if you were on Carol's broadcast last night, she's doing a jumpsuit, and she showed where on the pattern, the lady looked like she was wearing one size too big in her jumpsuit. Yeah, one of the other reasons why I'm doing the serger, because the serger has a little bit more stretch and a little bit more give than if you're doing a straight stitch. Like I don't want no stitches popping while I'm trying to wear it. Right. Okay. One leg down, one to go. I'm trying to keep track of time. Now, if I didn't have the adjustments to make, you can see how fast this could go. Once you cut it out, it shouldn't take long to cut it out. Just probably wouldn't even take 10 minutes. I would say maybe 15 minutes. You got to press the pattern out, press your fabric, lay it out, and cut it. Maybe 15 minutes. But other than that, and then another 15 minutes, to sew it up? 15, 20 minutes. It'll take you less than an hour to make this pant. The top I did was a self-drafted top. think I'm gonna do a rolled hem edge on the hem, just to stay consistent with the edging on the sweater. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is slide the one into the other. I turn one inside out. Okay. Find the seam, put it down in the other leg. Okay. Make sure the crotch is together, the inseam. I think we're about to make a do. So yeah, I just wanted to check on y'all to make sure y'all doing good with the pants. And if you're still working on top, that's fine too. You know, we got this whole month to bust that down. You know, these guides are just to help you. Some people need a step-by-step, or they need like a guide to what to sew, and it just kind of helps to say, hey, sew this, you know, work on this. And last year I think we did like specific things to work on, like things with zippers, things with buttons, something like that. This year you had a little bit more leeway just to pick your favorite top or something to work on there. Alright, I'll meet you in the way because I don't need no mistakes surging, no fabric on I want to see how the hip part's gonna fit. All right, so we're gonna, yes, and you know, I just did another pair. I copied those this year, earlier in the year, to make another pair of black pants. And so I'm gonna turn y'all back around here. Y'all, my room is getting crowded as I collect more work. Work. Ooh, I can't snag my pants. I like them too much. Alright, yeah. Take my shoes off here. These are leggings I have on, so good. I forget where I was. I don't know if I was on TikTok. Somebody thought I was undressing. Like, no, you're gonna do that. Alright, so I don't have the elastic in yet, but I just need to see how the hip part's gonna fit, right? Okay, that's the back. They look kind of narrow now. Okay. Alright. Let me get out the way. Oh no. This gonna be good, y'all. Okay. Yep. So all I need to do is put the elastic in. Oh yeah. That's a good. Alright, so once I put the elastic on, I think that's gonna be good. That's good. And what do y'all think about the back? How did the back come out, y'all? How did the back come out, y'all? I love it. Okay, all right, let me get the elastic in. so you can really see how they go. So I'm just gonna measure. I think I measured my waist at what, 30. Where's that card? What did I measure my waist at? Yeah, 38 or 34. Was it 38 or 34? I think it was 38. I like to do about 2 inches less than my waist. That's 38. I like to do 2 inches less than my waist so it'll be snug. Janet, that's the big old kid in me. That's a big old kid in me. Hang on. Now I'm really excited. And the length is perfect. I gotta get to see the length of it. Hang on. Alright. So what do I do with my elastic, y'all? I make sure I have 38 inches worth of elastic. Alright. Let's see. I got, no, 36. My waist is a whole yardstick long. That's a crying shame, y'all. My waist is a whole yardstick long. That can't be right. That can't be good. And then it's a whole yardstick long. That's a shame. That's a darn shame. I'm gonna have to double up on my okra water or something. I'm gonna have to chug it down 2 times a day instead. I'm gonna have to drink a whole gallon of okra water or something. Man, y'all. 36. Actually, I'm bigger than a yardstick because I'm 38. I just cut 36. Trying to squeeze it in a little bit. Let me see. Okay. Y'all don't be laughing at me. It takes a seamstress to see it that way. Listen, I don't know how else to see it. 36 inches is 36 inches. Lord, I can't see it no different now. I'm a whole yardstick. You know how long a yardstick? That's pretty long. That's like from the tip of my nose to the tip of my finger. You see how long that was? I had to go out of camera. That's big. Y'all, when did I get to be that big? Whew, child. That's big. Alright, now I'm changing threads over here. Let's see, what time is it? Ooh, just going on 5. Y'all, send me a whole pair of pants. I need to be making a dress. But it's gonna be all good. I want to make me 2 pair of these, but I think the other materials, the burgundy fabric, I'll probably have enough to add seam allowance to the size. So I might add a little bit more seam allowance to the size. But I love this fit. I like a snug fit, but not tight. Does that make sense? So I feel like it's just right. And then with my big sweater over it, cannot wait to put them together. Now don't let me make no boot, y'all. I can make some socks. Yeah, I can make socks out of the rest of the fabric instead of a infinity scarf. I can make me those big fuzzy socks. All I need to do is add the little what you call it, Sherpa or some fabric in there. I can add fleece on this side. Ooh, is Mina still on here? No, she done messed up with the green pepper sock pattern. I might just make me some booties. Yeah, I done messed up now. So booties, booties or a scarf. So this is loungewear now. So booties or a scarf. I mean, still you can wear a scarf in the house because sometimes it be cold. Be cool. Don't be that cold. All right. So what I'm doing is measuring. I'm measuring the sides where the side seams would be, so I can quarter my elastic. So I'm measuring the sides so I know where to place it. All right, and I'm going to overlap it about an inch. So I'm going to overlap even though I cut it 2 inches short, I'm going to overlap it. Because yeah, maybe about 3/4 of an inch I overlap it. And then I'm going to stitch it where the elastic is flat. All right, so stitch it like that. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and mark it. I can quarter it. Now because this is I think that space I measured up top was a 5/8 of an inch. This is a 1 inch elastic, so it's gonna take a little bit more of that seam allowance up. Booties is only right, girl. Yeah, see, y'all my crew. I knew. So, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna serge this on first, and then stitch it. So I'm gonna serge it here, and then I'm gonna stitch it, and then top stitch it. All right. So where is the back? I like to stitch my crossover at the back seam. I'm gonna put a pin here because I like for it to be stable. Sometimes when you move the clips, fabric like to move around for me. Again, I like to use a serger when I'm applying the elastic, especially when it's a stretch piece because it'll stretch. Yeah. This is nice. Okay. All right, so are you really about to do it? I'm really about to do it. I'm really about to do it. All right, let's do it. Now I'm not cutting the elastic. And you see I don't have much to stretch. I should have disengaged my, I'll leave it. I just have to be careful not to cut. So I'm trying to cut it, just trying to add my, I'm trying to cut nothing. I'm Gotta be careful not to cut the sew over the pins. This fabric, the edges curl, so I have to be careful. That's why I'm going slow. I'm going to take off more than what I need to. Yeah, I think I just mentioned that I watched the movie Castle last night. I was up like 3 o'clock this morning. Y'all, that was so sad. That was a sad movie. It was good, but I'm like, Lord, what would I do if I got stuck on an island for 4 years? Jesus. Then I thought after 4 years, I guess he didn't think prior to that he probably could have made a little makeshift boat all along, but he probably wasn't thinking like that. But out of desperation, after so many years, you think, either I'm gonna die on this island or I'm gonna die in the water. But out of 4 years, but I guess it depends on where he got to, where he drifted off to. He was in the main fairway of the boat. Out of 4 years, no ship ever came by. No pin here because I don't want to hear that clink clink. I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. You watched the origin. What's the origin? Tell me about what was that about? Where can I watch that? I'm about to top stitch now, y'all. I gotta make sure that I'm top stitching from one point to the next. Okay, there's my pin, so make sure I can see it. Because I don't want to miss nothing. This will be a good beginner project. Well, I don't know what it is that's in my something I think fell in my, I don't know what it is, but it makes that clinky noise. And the light can fell down, y'all gonna work for me today. I'm not gonna be coming apart right now. By Anna Duvernay, the same one that did Sugar, what was it? Sugar something. I know who. I gotta look it up. Where'd you watch it at? Not a, well, yeah, she don't make no horror movies. I don't like horror movies. The series was pretty good that she did. Sugar something. Y'all ready? I gotta make sure I keep the. All right, let's try this again. Let me get this on, and then I'll grab my camera so y'all can see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't cut these any bigger. I'm so super glad. Let me turn my top up here a little bit so y'all can see. Y'all, I am so super glad. Turn this around. I was trying to cancel y'all. Wait. Okay, there we go. I don't know why my light come on automatically. Sorry about that, y'all. But look at there. Look, that doggone light. I'm so sorry, y'all. But look, and the length of them. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, I'm going to search the length of them because I like the length just the way it is. And I'm going to turn this around so see if y'all can see the back. Can you see? Y'all, tell me I didn't get that jam up, y'all. Tell me. Okay. Oh my goodness. Ain't no wedgies, ain't no butt crack. Yeah, ain't no butt crack. Y'all see the waist up there? Perfect. Alright, let's see from the side. Let's see if I can step back just a little bit. Okay. Yeah. It came out good. Sorry I can't hold this camera because I can't tell which way I'm going. Listen. This is still my tried and true, y'all. And it's got two versions. It's got a straight leg to it. But when I take, oh my goodness. See, that was a 14. I didn't need no 14. And that back right there, I probably could bring this down another turn and it'll be comfortable where I usually like to wear my pants at. It is at my true. I could probably turn it like that and it'll be right where I want it. But I'm going to leave it because I like, that's a more of a high waist right there. Or I could bring it down. Make that come down a little bit. Yeah, I just chose to bring it down. Let's see. Oh, yeah. What? Listen, this is still my tried and true, y'all. It's still my tried and true. You say I'm a boss. Listen. Whew. Jeez, I'm glad that came out. Glad that came out. Y'all, I love these pants. They feel so good. Oh, oh, oh. That's how I like my pants to fit. Y'all. And so when I'm standing, there's still a little bit of room in the crotch. I'm glad I didn't make the adjustments and shorten. I'm so glad I didn't. But you can still see there's just a little bit if I'm like bending or something, you know. But you want to be able to move, right? You don't want to jam up in your crotch. Like it's right, they're right there. And I could always pull them up if I need to. But I like when I stand still. They're not crinkling. They're not doing any of that. They're just being pants. They're being the pants that they're supposed to be. So, all right, y'all. I'm gonna serge the edge of them. And let's see, it's 1:22. I ain't had no message from a student yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and serge the edge. I'm gonna let me do something really quick. Let me move some of the stuff off to the side so she can do palm. Because I got a lot of stuff in here. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm gonna get my iron, put it over here. But I'm gonna put my label. I'm gonna sew my label into my pants and serge it. That's all I need to do, and I'm gonna be done. So, if this is enough to make some booties out of, I'll see. I don't know if it's enough to make the little short ones with the little Sherpa in it. If not, I can make them, but the bottoms I can make with denim. All right, Divya, thank you so much for hanging in there. This pattern is this is the one you always hear me talk about, my tried and true. It is McCall 6571. I'm going to try to find the butterick version of this that's more up to date. I think it's still in rotation. And it's the same exact pattern. Cree has it, and Kim has it. All right. So let me move some of this stuff. And I'm going to serge it. I'm going to show y'all what I do with my label. I press it. I'm going to cut me. Oh, I already cut them. Okay, so I had already sliced them, so all I need to do is peel one. So when I need it, I'll just take one off and I'll press it onto my ribbon. I'll show you that right now. I'm gonna grab my ribbon. I'm gonna find a softer ribbon to use. But it's gotta be a wide one. Wide. It's okay if it's not soft. This grosgrain is soft enough. I use the pink. I'll use the same one. So I'm going to use this pink grosgrain ribbon to press it on. Do that really quick. Alright, so I'm laying on my ribbon like this. Just laying it on top like that. And I'm going to press it. I did. I either ironed it directly on my fabric or I iron it on this. Because it's knit, I'm not sure how it's going to behave. So I'm not going to do it this time. But yeah, like on my other fabrics, for some of my customers, I think I have a picture of it on my timeline on TikTok and maybe Instagram, where I ironed it directly onto the fabric. But yeah. And here I'm just going to use this for now. I like making my own labels. Do you make your own, Jana? Guess I could turn you around this way a little bit. Do you make your own? So I just pulled that Cricut out and I said, you know what, I'll just make enough because I had run out of my labels for my customers when I'm making this stuff. And then I forget. Alright, so I have it pressed on. I'm going to go ahead and get my pinking shears. And like I said, I have my, I had to go buy me some more free check. Alright, so I have it ironed on Now, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that off. So now it's on my label. And now I'm going to press it directly on. I'm going to use my Teflon sheet and press it again. Because I want to make sure it's like in there. Now I'm pressing it onto the label. I'm going to get my first bit that I bought. I need to have a whole bunch of this. I bought me another little cabinet too so I can store some of my stuff in. I'll show you where I put my, I got this from Hobby Lobby, little case. It's got different compartments. So I needed something where I could put like my sewing machine feet in and stuff like this and snaps and things like that I needed to be able to keep handy. Did I not cut it enough? Well, surely you ought to be able to come out now. Okay, there we go. Put too much in. Okay. I probably could have just burned the edges a little bit. If that wet part don't come off, then I'll just trim that off a little bit more. Or try to wet it. But let's go ahead and get this in there. That way I can take those plastic pieces out. And then I'm going to serve the edge. Alright, I'm gonna stitch this in. Let me look it up real quick and see. Because it is a Butterick pattern. Butterick 6966. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's the exact same pattern as this one. And I believe, is it still in rotation? My pattern I've had for over 20 years. Got it in there. Yeah, it's nothing like having your own, doing your own as much as you possibly can. So now I can take that tape off. I know what the back is. And now I'm gonna roll him the edge. It is okay. See, there you go. Let me tell you, you're gonna thank me for that pattern because it is awesome. All right, so I'm gonna take my second upper needle out and thread. And then I'm going to use the outer thread, my first needle. Somehow to magnetize everything around me. Yeah, somehow to magnetize everything around me. I'm trying to put my needle back in place so I can go back to it. Alright, I gotta change my settings. Gotta take this foot off. Take that arm off. Disengage my needle. Change everything to low pin. Oh, gotta disengage the thread cutter. Alright. I keep looking back so I can make sure. Hang on, let me do something real quick. I need to laminate the pattern. That's a good idea, or I never thought about fusing the back of it. But you're right, I do. Because it has served me well. It truly has served me well. Let me put some stuff around here. Alright. Then my lamp here, I don't know what's going on with it. Decided it just wanted to jump off the table. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Alright, let's go ahead and get this surgeon on the, you know what, I need to, let's go test the piece first. Test this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Alright. That's why I can't keep no pins. I'm always shaking them off. Alright, so let's go. I'm trying not to stretch it because it can, with that type of surgery, it's going to get like a curly edge. If I pull on it, try not to pull on it. Y'all want to hurry up and go. I want to be like, go, go. Do you do one-on-ones? I do. Yes, sir. You can go on my website. I have private sessions, a 3-hour session. So I vary the in-person version. just did one recently. One of my clients, former, actually she was a client turned student. And a lot of my clients who want to become servers. She was in Texas. And we did a one-on-one session. But yes. Oh no, there's a hole. I'm about to fix that. Because this fabric is has holes, not hole. Well, yeah, it's got openings in it. And see right there where I ended it up, it looks like a hole. So I'm gonna fix that with my sewing machine. But see how that came out? So that's how the neck edge of my sweater is. But yeah, if you want to, Jana, inbox me and I'll send you the link to my website. Well, actually, it's AlethiaHudsonDesigns.com. You can find it. Now, you could also do Patreon, the level that's $25 a month. You get a free, I think it's is it a 1 hour session once a month? It comes with that. You can come in and out of that anytime you get ready. You might want to do 1 month. That's what I do all of my classes, do my design now. We're ready to do a skirt drafting course. It's going to be a short session. It'll probably be like a 3-hour session. I show how to draft the skirt. It seems like it's taking forever. Never. She's running a little bit late. Let's see if she said anything. Oh, she said she's on her way. Yay! It is finished. Y'all, I got a pair of pants. So this is my first entry into my fancy pants. And girl, when I say I declare these fancy pants, they are fancy pants. So I do want to do at least one more pair of pants. Maybe it don't look like a hole after all. Or was it that one? Because if it don't, that's not the one. Okay, I think it was this one. Yeah, I'm going to secure that a little bit better. So I'm just going to stitch over that, almost like you mending a stitch. Just going to stitch over that spot. Just join that together. So it won't look like a hole. You know, it really wasn't one, but it kind of looked like one. And it'll probably be easier to snag onto something and tear a hole. Let's see. what I did was did a stitch going across there. All right, so yeah, I think yeah, she just pulled up. That was perfect timing. All right, there's my label in my pants. Yay! It did dry up so good, perfect. Y'all, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. All right, so y'all make sure you need help with the crotch situation. Okay, yeah, let me know. And either way you want to go, let me know whether you want to do it through Patreon and we do like a 1 month session. I mean a session if you think it's gonna take 3 hours, whichever way. Let me know. I do want to go. I do want to do gowns. Did you say you gonna draft skirts? Couldn't hear over the surgery. Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna draft skirts, and it won't just be gowns. That's just one particular course that we're doing now, the designer gown. So it won't just be gowns. Like I said, I am getting ready to do a skirt block, and then we'll probably do like the pants fitting stuff. Cause I did those before. I did the pants fitting. I did the dress fitting, like doing a full bust and stuff like that. Back waistline measurements to get a better fit, for tops and dresses. So yeah, so that's just one session that we did. It wasn't just about the designer gowns. Yeah. Um, Probably here. I might be able to see it. Or you know what? Or TikTok. It don't matter. Either one. Either one. Whichever one you feel comfortable with. Yeah. I'll get you. All right, ladies. All right, so yeah, my student is about to walk down. So I will chat with y'all later. I'll post my pants in the group. I got to put them back on and take another picture because I'm so happy with them. All right, I love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me while I worked on these pants. I enjoyed the company. Y'all have a blessed day, and I will chat with y'all a little bit later on. All right, love y'all to life. Bye.